Hi friends, it's Terry Gaines. In this video, I'm going to share several cards I created using the Fitting Florets Collection of product. This product is available starting today, November 1st, through January 4th, 2023. You can buy all the items with one code number, or you can purchase the product individually. And there is a stamp set and a die set that you can purchase together, bundled for a 10% savings. Some of the product is only available while supplies last. One of them is the gold adhesive back swirls. These are absolutely beautiful. You get 75. I've used some on the projects I'm going to share with you. And these are only while supplies last, as I mentioned. The stamp set called Framed and Festive, which has got some great holiday sentiments. It's also a limited available product, only while supplies last. The stamp set that is called Frames Florets will be in a future publication along with the coordinating dies. There are 13 images or stamps in your stamp set and 13 dies. With the stamp set, you've got these beautiful images that can be cut out with the dies, and then you've got some wonderful sentiments that are so versatile in two beautiful fonts. There are some frame dies that are absolutely amazing. For example, this die will cut out this framed image along with this inside piece. And then this die will cut out this framed piece along with this inside piece. You can use these together. You can use them all to coordinate together. And then you have this die that will cut out these hearts that are in an oval shape that you can overlay these images inside it. You can use all the heart cutouts for confetti for a shaker card or inside a card. So much versatility. Plus you have these that make amazing accents to your projects. Absolutely love all of that. The designer series paper is absolutely beautiful. This is a limited product. It will not be in a future publication. And I just love all of these blues and greens and this rich looking paper. You get 2 each of 6 double-sided prints. On this side, I picked the blues and greens. They coordinate with Stampin' Up's exclusive colors of cardstock, ink pads, blends, and many different other items, and absolutely beautiful. So on this side, as I mentioned, have kind of the greens and the blues that are on the designer series paper. Absolutely beautiful. I think I mentioned it's 12 by 12. You receive 2 each. On the other side, you've got really the colors that coordinate along with the blues and the greens. You've got some of the pinks, polished pink, blushing bride, and crushed curry. This piece is all images. There is a die that's going to cut out this floral image. There's several throughout the page, along with this image right here. The rest of these, you can fussy cut these out. And you can also fussy cut around all of the greenery to create some beautiful cards. I'm going to be showing you some of those. And I actually reserved this entire page. With the exception, I used a little strips for some layering for cutting that out. And then here you have some additional designs, some great floral images, and great for background prints. And here's all the coordinating colors that it coordinates with. As I mentioned, I have lots of cards to share with you. The first 4 I'm sharing with you, I did not use the coordinating stamp set. I used a stamp set called Go To Greetings to show you that if you buy the designer series paper and use your sentiments you already own, there's so much you can do with this paper. I cut the strips of paper here to be 5.5 by 1 inch for this card, and then I fussy cut one of those floral images from that designer series paper, and I use the Go To Greetings for my just a note on that card. My tip for fussy cutting, leave a little bit of white space and layer it on basic white cardstock. That way it's going to camouflage any imperfections you have. So that's one card. Here's another card that I created. Also, the designer series paper is 1 inch in height, and I use the same sentiment, just a different, same stamp set, different sentiment. And then I have actually 2 images laid over on top of each other just to extend it. Here's a card that I have the designer series paper 5.5 by 1.5. I also did some fussy cutting here and used the same sentiment stamp set. And then here's another one. I have 2 inches, but I have the orientation different. And then I layered with balmy blue and night of navy just to pick out those colors here. So these are 4 cards I created just using the designer series paper and a favorite sentiment stamp, and then did all the fussy cutting. The rest of these cards I incorporated the dies. I also have the 1-inch strip here, and I added 2 colors for my layering, my soft succulent and evening evergreen. I'm using the ovals, so I cut it out one time with basic white and another time with the soft succulent to get the 2 lit pieces. And then I used the dies, and then I did use the die to cut these out. I decided to use the opal rounds for the embellishments on those, but again, when you layer on top of the basic white, you camouflage any imperfections, whether your die wasn't quite straight or your fussy cutting isn't quite even. Mine isn't. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting, but I will do it, especially for this beautiful designer series paper like this. Here's a strip of designer series paper. This is 1.5 inches wide, and I coordinated it with some colors here. And here I used 2 of the ovals, the inside pieces of both of those different dies. As I mentioned, this back one is from the inside of this die, and this one is the inside of this die. So you can work with those together like that. Here's another card with a 1.5-inch strip, and I cut out this one in balmy blue, and this one is the white one. And then I have this floral image, and I colored these in with the Stampin' Blends, and I have a matte black adhesive dot on those. Absolutely love this designer series paper and these dies. For this card, I did all the flowers are cut out of the same piece of a different piece, but this designer series paper. I did the 2 ovals, and the greenery is from the designer series paper that has all the floral pieces in. You've got all these dies or images you can cut out and add to that. Here's one that I use. This is probably one of my favorites. I just love this color combination. It's so rich, this designer series paper. I have some evening evergreen of the die cut out here, and then I colored these in with the balmy blue blends, and a couple different multiple layers to get them darker, for multiple layers of coloring in the blends. And here's another one that has the designer series paper. I just trimmed that out, have the little banner with the celebrate, and I love this gingham print also. And here's the last one. On this one, I colored these all in with the soft succulent blends. And for these 2 layouts here, the designer series paper is 2 inches wide. Some of them I layered cardstock behind. For this one, I did not. So I also have a cutting guide that you can download that's going to give you the cutting dimensions for the designer series paper. As I mentioned, some of these are 2 inches wide, some of these are 1.5 inches, and some are 1 inch. If you have your designer series paper at 1 inch in height, you can get 24 per sheet. I have a cutting guide here that will assist you in placing the direction of your designer series paper, where your first cut would be, in this example, at 5.5. Your second cut would be 5.5, and then all of these number 3s would be at 1 inch. You're going to get 24 strips of designer series paper per 12 by 12 sheet. If you increase that by 1.5, you're going to get 16 per. If you increase that to 2 inches, whether the orientation is this way or this way, you'll get 12 per sheet plus an extra strip. And if you have it 2 inches by 4, so this is 5.5, so it's go the whole length of the card, either orientation. If you go 4 inches, you are going to get 3 rows. That will give you 18 per sheet. You can download this PDF from my blog, and if you found me via YouTube, there's a direct link to my blog post in the comment section of this video where you can download and have that guide. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you are looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator to purchase products Stampin' Up! Product from, I would love you to reach out to me, or in the bottom of the video or bottom of the blog post, there's a direct link to my Stampin' Up! Store. I also would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the red box under the video, then select the red bell to be notified when I upload a new video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and happy creating.